So, hi. Since it's spooky season and I really wanted to do a special video for October, I decided that today I'm going to redesign some Monster High characters. I like them to be a little more spooky and more adult too, so I am going to set this universe in college-ish years. Monster High as a franchise didn't appear in my life until not that long ago because I didn't watch the series or the films, but I do have a core memory of me thinking that their dolls were really cool. So that led me into a rabbit hole where I started to watch redesign and repaint videos of Monster High dolls such as Delightful or Hextien or many others. And it's kind of become a really a secret obsession of mine, so I decided why not do that in my own medium, I guess, which is, concept art illustration. So after this not at all long-winded intro, let's start with Draculaura. So after I stared at their original designs for way too long, I searched for historical references since her outfit seems to be inspired somewhat in Victorian fashion and also vampire lore / vibes, and I started making my design from there, doing several sketches. I combined the things that I liked the most from each of them and I started doing the final illustration. So Draculaura is supposed to be a vampire, so I really wanted her to have an ethereal, pastel but ashy appearance, while maintaining that regal feeling of vampires and giving her a more old soul kind of feel. I really like the G3 body, so I tried to incorporate that, even though I think I made her too tall. I tried to maintain the original characters' silhouettes, but enhancing things that I think could work better. For example, larger ears or long nails to appear more animalistic. Once I had the base sketch done, I started coloring it. I wanted to give all of them a more muted palette with some key colors that will pop up. So I put all the pink really pastel, and I tried to give more emphasis on the goth style. At this point I was really liking the design, and then I realized she looks like Espion. So we are just going to go ahead and ignore that. I was having troubles deciding if I wanted the half and half hair or the pink stripes, but in favor of the darker aesthetic I decided to make tiny stripes of color instead. I also decided to give her a wet hair kinda look, just to make her feel a little more grimy and scary in a way, since I feel like vampires are pretty reclusive and not that hygienic. Then I made her dress black with some gold details because she actually wouldn't be able to wear silver, and also it looks really nice with the color palette. I tried to give her more traditional clothing like the shoes or the blouse, but still tried to maintain that Monster High fashion characteristic. And yeah, so this is Draculaura's final design. I think I took the design into a nice middle ground between fashion and scary, and I'm really proud of those eyes. This one came a little bit easily because I already had a pretty clear idea of what I wanted to make, but with the next one I had a few more issues. So same process, stare at her face, stare at fashion, and stare at lore. Werewolf, oh Jesus Christ.
Werewolf lore.
I made some sketches, combined them, and then started having problems. Clawdeen, it's a really different kind of vibe because she's not historical at all, so I had to just rely on her original design and then make it my own. The only thing I had clear about her is that I wanted her to look rougher, and I wanted some of her clothes to look like they belong to somebody else, since they do. Now, don't get me wrong. The thing is, in my headcanon, I made it so that when she rages, usually she breaks all of her clothes, and their friends are there to give her extra clothes. That's why you're going to see that skirt that she wears actually belongs to Frankie. You're going to see the plaid design that's so typical of them. I'm still not super convinced about the pose, but I ended up liking it enough to continue. The goal was the same as the others, make her more adult, scarier, but still keeping it fashion. Which was a little more difficult for her because I already really like her original design, and I didn't draw almost anything from the new design because I hate it so much.
I hated her so much. It flames.
So I only had one design to reference, really. I wanted her to look flirty and playful, but also really rough, because I wanted to exaggerate her animal features. For example, her fangs, bigger ears, bigger claws, hair all over. I gave her a tail. I don't know why I never cut that, but she doesn't have a tail, which, now that I think about it, it's kind of weird. Does this mean I'm drawing furries now? Who knows? I really wanted to give her a more deep and contrasty makeup look in comparison with Draculaura. For the hair, I went with her classic chocolate and caramel colors, but I gave her 2 butterfly locks to frame her face. I would argue that she's the one that looks the most like the original because I really like her outfit and structure, although I tried to change some things, but there's really not much room left for improvement, to be honest. I did, however, give her these cool boots and a belt that represents the moon phases. Oh, and I also really like the cheeky little detail of putting so I guess bells. I gave her bells as hair ties, and I think that's neat. I ended up really liking her design, but I struggled a lot harder with colors and shapes for her. I don't know why. Thankfully the next one came pretty easily to me, so it wasn't all that bad.
Okay, so one last time. Face, reference, lore, sketches, combine them, and start with Frankie. So with Frankie, I had one thing clear. I wanted to give them a tomboyish but preppy look, since their story is that they have just been born and they only know that they have to attend school, or in this case, college. I obviously wanted to give them the prosthetic leg because I think that's such a nice touch from the new design. And I wanted to give them back the bolts on their neck, since it's such an iconic element from the original Frankenstein. I struggled a bit thinking how could I make them scarier, and I tried to go for the body horror route without being too explicit, since it's still fashion and kids media. So I decided to make her scars a little bit more evident and give them one popped eye, which I ended up liking a lot, to be honest. Okay, now for the coloring. I tried to give her two-tone skin to represent that their body is made of different humans' parts. I don't know if it reached that well at the end, but it was my starting point. I think I really nailed the contrast of elegant but kinda clumsy from the original character, and I think she might be my favorite, to be honest.
So for their hair, I tried to give them something that wouldn't bother them too much and it's not all over the place. So I gave them a ponytail with the shaved sides, which I think really fits them. And for the color, I couldn't make it any other way if it wasn't that skank look.
One tiny little detail that if I don't tell you is not going to be obvious at all is that I gave her this tie that she obviously has in the original concept too, but I made it red so it represents the scars that your body gets when you get done an autopsy. I think that was a little bit clever on my part. So yeah, I really kept their design simple so it's easy to read, but it's striking enough so that I really like their new design. I love the color palette, I love the plaid mixed with the sporty vibe, but with the elegant shoes. I don't know, I really like this one.
So that, my friends, concludes this Spooky Yuki YouTube video. I actually am not mad at all at how their designs came out, and if you really like them, I might do another batch of characters from this or other IPs. So yeah, I hope you really liked it, and thank you so much for staying till the end. Bye!